Hi guys, my name is Minerva and today's lesson is the use of full infinitive, verb infinitive, and gerund. Let's begin with the full infinitive. The full infinitive is also known as to infinitive, and it is the most used in writing. The full infinitive is created by taking the base form of a verb and adding the preposition to in front of it. For example, swim becomes to swim, write becomes to write, and dance becomes to dance. Let's see the uses. The first use is to show purpose or intention. For example, we visited Liz to see how she was. I'm writing this email to tell you something important. The second use is as the subject of a sentence. For example, to love someone requires patience and understanding. To buy an apartment in the city, it's my dream. The third use is very important, after certain verbs. The full infinitive is used after many verbs, but in these presentations, we are going to see these ones. Agree, ask, choose, desire, learn, need, plan, and want. Let's see the examples. Why did you agree to meet her in the first place? He asked to come with us. Every day is beautiful if you choose to see it. We decided to go to Hawaii. I learned to speak Japanese when I was a kid. You need to change your eating habits. We plan to go to Europe this summer. They want to play soccer after work. The full infinitive is also used after would like, would prefer, and would love to express a specific preference. For example, I would like to have the pepperoni pizza, please. I would prefer to drink a cup of coffee. Another use of the full infinitive is after adjectives. For example, I was very lucky to find a job so quickly. It's important to be present in the meeting. Another use of full infinitive is after the adverbs to and enough. For example, it is too dangerous to walk alone at night. I have enough money to pay. Another use is after a noun or object pronoun. For example, can I ask you to help me with something? I invited a friend to eat at the restaurant. Another use of full infinitive is after the relative pronouns or WH words. For example, do you understand what to do? Tell me when to press the button. And the last use is to talk about an unexpected event, usually with the word only. For example, I finally arrived at school only to find that it was closed. She invested all her savings only to see everything lost. An important note. If two infinitives are linked by conjunctions, the preposition to of the second infinitive can be omitted. For example, I need to go and speak to her immediately. We expect to swim and surf in Australia. Would you like to go out or stay tonight? Okay, so now let's continue with the verb infinitive. The verb infinitive is also known as base form, zero infinitive, and infinitive without to. This is the most basic form of the verbs. For example, swim, write, and dance. Let's see the uses. The first use is after modal verbs. For example, Catherine can speak German and Italian. Mark should go to the doctor as soon as possible. Another use of verb infinitive is after perception verbs like see, hear, taste, feel, etc. For example, I heard the car arrive before I went to bed. We saw him sign the letter. Another use is after the expressions would rather and had better. For example, I'd rather sit here. You'd better call a doctor. Another use of verb infinitive is after the causative verbs let, have, make, and help. For example, they made her take a blood test. The lawyer had his assistant make copies of the contract. Note, when you use help with the structure help plus noun or pronoun plus verb, the full infinitive can be used after the noun or the pronoun. For example, can you help me find the keys? This is the most common. Or you can say, can you help me to find the keys? As I explained before, when two infinitives are connected by the conjunctions and, or, except, than, but, or as, it is normal to omit the preposition to and the second verb. Let's see the examples. I would like to clean the house and do the dishes. I could find nothing to do except read my book. It's quicker to bike to the station rather than take a car. Now, let's continue with gerund. The gerund is the noun form of a verb that ends in ing, like swimming, riding, and dancing. And it is normally used as a noun in the sentence. For example, she's good at dancing. Swimming is an excellent form of exercise. A note that is extremely important. Present participle verbs are not gerunds if they describe an ongoing action. In that case, they are used with the verb be as the continuous or progressive form of the verb. For example, she's studying English. When I was walking to school, he called me. In those sentences, studying and working are not gerunds. They are present participles. Now let's see the uses of gerund. The first use is as the subject of the sentence. For example, sunbathing is very bad for your skin. Brushing your teeth is important. The second use is after prepositions. For example, they're good at playing the guitar. Mary put off going to the dentist. The third use is after certain verbs. There are many verbs that you must use gerund after them, but in this presentation, we are going to see just these ones. Avoid, dislike, enjoy, finish, imagine, postpone, practice, and suggest. Let's see the examples. He avoided talking to her. I dislike being the center of attention. The students enjoy playing sports. He finished doing his homework. Mary imagines working there one day. Let's postpone leaving until tomorrow. The athletes practiced throwing the ball. Tracy suggested meeting for a drink at 8 o'clock. Another use of gerund is after spend, waste, or lose, when you talk about time, money, etc. For example, he spent a lot of money buying too many gadgets. Anna wasted a lot of time hanging out in pubs. Another use of gerund is after the preposition to in expressions such as be used to, look forward to, in addition to, get used to. For example, I'm looking forward to relaxing tomorrow. We got used to following the new schedule. Another use of gerund is after expressions such as be busy, is no use, it's good or it's no good, it's worth or it's no worth, can't help, can't stand, have difficulty or have difficulty in, and have trouble. Let's see the examples. I have been busy studying for an exam these days. It's no use trying to make her change her mind. It's no good interfering with other people's business. Is the car worth buying? Mary can't help thinking about Martin's proposal. I can't stand listening to that music. Since his stroke, he has difficulty speaking clear. They have trouble learning Japanese. Now I'm going to continue with the verbs followed by gerund and infinitive. The following verbs can be followed by either a gerund or a full infinitive with almost no difference in meaning. Begin, can bear, can stand, continue, hate, like, love, prefer, and propose. Let's see some examples. You can say, they began studying French, or they began to study French. We love scuba diving, or we love to scuba diving. I can't stand working late, or I can't stand to work late. Now we're going to see the difference in meaning if you use gerund or infinitive. Let's begin with gerund versus verb infinitive. After the verbs of perception like see, watch, notice, hear, listen to, feel, observe, and smell, gerund and verb infinitive are used as follows. If you use the verbs of perception plus gerund, you describe uncompleted actions or in progress. For example, we saw them eating ice cream in the park. That means that we didn't see the complete action. In that moment, the action was happening. In the case that we use the verbs of perception plus verb infinitive, we describe completed actions. For example, I saw him sign the check. That means that we saw the complete action from the beginning to the end. Now let's see the difference in meaning between gerund and full infinitive. We're going to start with the verbs remember and forget. If you use remember or forget plus gerund, that refers to having or not a memory of something in the past. For example, I remember watching this film before. In this sentence, the woman is thinking about the movies that she has watched. If you use remember or forget plus full infinitive, that refers to recalling or not that something must be done. For example, John forgot to close the door when he left. In this sentence, John didn't do what is normally done after leaving the house. Now, let's see the difference between gerund and full infinitive after mean. Mean plus gerund expresses to be involved in something necessary. For example, if I accept the job offer, it will mean working long hours. On the other hand, mean plus full infinitive expresses to plan to do something. For example, I meant to tell you about the exhibit, but I forgot. Now, let's see the difference between regret plus gerund and regret plus full infinitive. Regret plus gerund is used to talk about mistakes we have made and they make us feel bad. For example, I have always regretted not having studied harder at college. In this sentence, the woman is thinking about the things she did instead of studying when she was at college. Regret plus full infinitive is used mostly to make announcements of bad news. For example, we regret to inform you that your application has been rejected. In this sentence, the woman received bad news from the company where she applied. Now, let's see the difference between try with gerund or full infinitive. If you use try and gerund, that means to experiment with doing something. For example, we've tried painting with oil paint over water paint, but it didn't work. In this sentence, they made an experiment. In case you use try plus full infinitive, this expresses that you make an effort in doing something. For example, she tried to tell you the truth, but you didn't listen. In this sentence, it's not an experiment. She made an effort to tell you the truth. Now, let's see the difference between stop and gerund and stop and full infinitive. The stop plus gerund is used to indicate that an action in progress ends. For example, I stopped smoking. In this sentence, the man is expressing that he's not smoking anymore. In the case that you use stop plus full infinitive, that means to interrupt an activity to do something else. For example, I stopped to tie my shoelaces. In this sentence, maybe the man was walking and he stopped to tie his shoelaces. Now let's see the difference between go on plus gerund and go on plus full infinitive. Go on plus gerund is used to indicate the activity continues. For example, she went on talking about her boyfriend for hours. That means that she didn't stop talking about her boyfriend for many hours. When you use go on plus full infinitive, that means to change or do the next activity. For example, after introducing her proposal, she went on to explain the benefits for the company. So that means that she began introducing her proposal and then he changed the activity explaining the benefits for the company. And finally, we have the difference between quit plus gerund and quit plus full infinitive. Quit plus gerund is used to stop doing something. For example, she quit working here. That means that she quit her job here and she doesn't work here anymore. In the case that you use quit plus full infinitive, that means to stop permanently to do something else. So in this example, she quit to work here. That means that she quit another job in order to work here. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. See you in our next lesson.